Hello, I'm Dr. Nick, here to talk to you about better health. Intermittent fasting and my previous vlog and blogs on the subject continue to be of major interest, as evidenced by the number of views and comments. So to follow up on my original vlog on intermittent fasting, I wanted to offer some additional data on this area of time-restricted fasting. First off, like all things to do with your body and health, it may not be right for you, either because you don't tolerate it well, or maybe it just doesn't work or provide the benefits that others have found. It's also important to talk to your healthcare provider, recognizing that in some cases you may find they are just overtly negative, unwilling to accept any discussion, in which case it might be the right time to find another doctor. For many, the question of what exactly constitutes intermittent fasting is still cloudy. You might just consider a regular diet as intermittent fasting, since many of us don't eat between meals. But this is not IF. Scientists are trying to study the area to tease out when and for what duration is enough to achieve some of the beneficial effects we're seeing with IF. That includes lowering blood glucose, improving obesity, and especially central obesity, inflammation, and even immunity, to mention a few areas. A recently published study in Nutrients tracked a small number of generally healthy individuals for a short period of time, monitoring their blood glucose with continuous monitors. With the increasing availability of continuous monitoring, these parameters, I just think we're going to be able to explore so many more areas in much more granular fashion, offering us insights that were difficult and expensive to obtain, which is good news. They pushed one group to eat food in a shorter, earlier window of 8 hours in the day, typical of the 18 to 6 intermittent fasting, and the other group just ate normally over the typical day. Given some of the limitations, including a very small sample size, limited duration, this data remains early and unproven. But it demonstrated some interesting results around blood glucose, including an overall lowering of the level, lowering especially at night time, lowering insulin levels, and smaller swings in the glucose throughout the study, despite the two groups having the same dietary intake. All this is to say that it's not just the food you eat, but the timing of it that really matters. And it's reasonable to conclude that a big meal at night is probably not a great idea. Science aside, think about it. If you eat a big meal at night and then go to bed, your body, muscles, and everything else have nothing else to do. In fact, during the deepest sleep cycles, your body is immobilized, unable to move. So from a nutrient absorption standpoint, it's all hands on deck. Let's grab everything we can from the meal, giving a rise to increased absorption, wider swings in glucose and insulin, neither of which are good for you. So what should you do? As I said in the previous video, trying intermittent fasting to see if it works for you is just a good start. And remember, it's a lazy man's diet, reducing your intake by 1/7 of the total number of calories. For reference, if your diet's 1400 calories, that's the same as reducing your daily calorie intake by 200. And for men, 2100, that's 300 calories down. But even if that's not reducing your intake towards the evening looks like it improves your metabolic status, and I can't be the only one that does not sleep well when I have a big meal just before going to bed. So, I'd suggest reduce your intake at least before bedtime. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and drop me a message if you consider sponsoring more of these educational videos like this one. Send me your feedback, thoughts on how I can improve things. Meanwhile, you can read more from me, Dr. Nick, at incrementalhealthcare.com, where you can find insights for smart technology for better health and outcomes.